Hi, welcome back. We're going to be talking about the APB Kangaroo today, our plate carrier setup for the med plate. So one of the common misconceptions with the med plate is whether or not you're going to have issues with regards to the ballistic plate falling out. So obviously, if you have a plate carrier that doesn't have any type of secondary retention for that ballistic plate, yes, when you open up that ballistic plate pouch pocket, there is the possibility of that ballistic plate falling free. One of the big pieces with our product for a long time has been the education piece specifically. So understanding some of the SOPs surrounding TCCC that would avoid you from having this issue to begin with. For starters, that in care under fire, you want to have that casualty down in the recovery position. And typically by the time you're getting really into the meat and potatoes of your TCCC process and you're looking for bleeds, you're going to be taking off his plate carrier, which really voids the issue with regards to having a ballistic plate fallout. We have designed on the website a ballistic plate retention kit for individuals who don't want to move away from whatever plate carrier setup they've used over the years, like JPCs and things of that nature. However, we have taken upon ourselves as well here at Aussie Peelback to create the APB Kangaroo, which is the plate carrier you're seeing me wear here today. So one of the key features with the APB Kangaroo is it has a double plate pocket. So unlike other plate carriers on the market, typically you're going to have this pocket at the bottom that opens up to be able to insert your ballistic plate. What we've done with the APB Kangaroo is it has a top load pocket that's surrounded with this elastic material to be able to insert plates from the top, and it has a bottom load pocket to be able to insert your med plate in a separate direction. That way, every time you go to deploy your IFAK setup, you're not having to worry about any possibilities of your ballistic plate falling free. When it is inside the vest for its overall setup, you're going to have a configuration similar to this, where you're going to have that ballistic plate sitting in front with the IFAK sitting in behind. So as you can see here in front of me, we have a duty setup of an overall APB Kangaroo, and this is kind of like the full up option, right? So the thing I'm wearing right now, relatively low profile, not a lot of stuff going on, but this just shows you in terms of capability of like how much or how little you can do with the APB Kangaroo. So looking at our APB Kangaroo for the duty setup, some of the different things that we've incorporated on this vest, we're running side plates, we're running radio pouches, we're running an ammunition placard, and we've also taken the placard that comes stock with the APB Kangaroo and set it up on the back. We've had people ask, why is the back of the APB Kangaroo placard accessible? For this very reason. So if you're wanting to run something like a Spiritus placard up front that's mission ready to something that you're already using, possibly a product that you already have, you don't have to go buy something new. The placard that is then coming with the APB Kangaroo, you could throw onto the back to give yourself a MOLLE option with the added benefit of this elastic to retain different things like communications equipment or 9-bangers, things of that nature. One of the added benefits of the APB Kangaroo is we also have the double plate pocket configuration in the rear of the plate carrier. So there's a few different reasons we did this. It's not just if you wanted to throw another med plate in there, but if you wanted to throw in systems like the core performance ice plate or any type of other hydration system, you now have two pockets on your plate carrier to obviously put in your ballistic plates and then another accessory if you wanted to. On the actual APB Kangaroo itself, there's also slits that are built into the plate carrier that if you wanted to route things like your camelback straw up and out to the front of your carrier, you could, as well as different comms routing on the left and right side of the plate carrier. One of the other added features with the APB Kangaroo is specifically our Peelback OnePouch design MOLLE. So one of the kind of neat things we ended up doing was we took your standard MOLLE rows that you'd have on something like the back of a placard, and we've superimposed elastic over top of it. So the added benefit of this is you can now run something like this where you have an elastically retained magazine or radio or anything like that that's on a side pocket. But then if you wanted to go ahead and MOLLE on some of your favorite pouches or side plates that we've gone ahead and done with this vest setup here, you can. So that's really one of the trade-offs that's always existed in the market with regards to if you do a skeletonized cummerbund where it's only MOLLE, but now you can't quickly retain things in a low profile setup like elastic. And obviously the disadvantage with elastic is you can't end up doing a duty setup where you want to add side plates and comms and things of that nature. Our plate carrier, and specifically the cummerbund, allows you to do both because of the way we've incorporated elastic with that design. Overall, all of our prices and all of our products at Aussie Peelback, they're all Canadian. Typically, like this multi-cam carrier, you're going to see it in the $280 option Canadian. But it is important to realize that the vast majority of our customers are coming from the U.S. So if you are looking for a plate carrier that's in your price range, you're typically going to be seeing this for the low, approximately $200 USD. So that's a common misconception we have, that the plate carriers seem a little bit more expensive than they are. That is because of Canadian prices. So once you do the conversion, it's actually much more cost effective in terms of some of the competition out there in the market, like JPCs and things of that nature, while still providing quality products. So all the materials are US sourced, and then it's assembled here in Canada. Looking back at the Kangaroo setup on myself here, you can see the overall configuration, even for something right now where I have 2 level 4 plates, 4 magazines, and an IFAK, is still relatively low figure. Placard, just as simple as undoing those buckles, and now all of a sudden the entire placard could come off and I could swap it out with another mission style placard with the easy change of the buckles. And like mentioned, it's also set up in that same configuration on the back of the plate carrier. So if I wanted to do a low profile MOLLE setup with some elastic, you can easily retain some different items without having to put on a whole bunch of pouches and making things complicated. In terms of the actual deployability of the med plate, it's as simple as just grabbing onto that lanyard, pulling down and away, and then out the entire package slides out. And that way it gives you an option in terms of actually having a plate carrier that is TCCC focused. So not to, kind of coin it ourselves, we'll give it credit where it's due, but grand thumb talking about making holes, blocking holes, plugging holes. This is a plate carrier system that addresses all 3 of those issues. Making holes right out of the box because of our elastic style MOLLE retention. Right out of the box, you could hold 9 magazines without having to double stack a single mag. Now, whether or not you'd actually use it in that configuration, absolutely, you could put other things like tourniquets and radios and so on and so forth. But it gives you a lot of options without having to start paying for extra stuff. In terms of blocking holes, obviously you have that configuration that's set up. We've already talked about how the ballistic plate top loads, the top inserts on the back and the front, ensuring that you could get that plate nice and secure, it's not going anywhere, and that it's sized in such a way that you're appropriately protecting yourself. And then last but not least, plugging holes. Ours is the only plate carrier on the market right now with that TCCC focus, being built around an IFAK platform to give you as much as possible in a nice low profile configuration. Specifically talking about durability with the APB Kangaroo, this model in particular has been R&D'd for approximately a year. As you can see, things like the elastic and some of the different features on the plate carrier have held up incredibly well. We've also had the privilege of having our systems deployed with a number of different military members as well as police officers, giving us a lot of different feedback in terms of how it's stood up in deployed environments, as well as helicopter environments, field environments, range environments, so on and so forth. All in all, giving us the performance metrics we want to show that it is durable in those duty environments. So not just as a civilian option, but more importantly as a mission-specific option. One of the added benefits and features too with the plate bag and how we've configured it as well is because you have that open pouch design in the front, it does allow you to work in some of your different comms equipment too, to be able to route wires and things in behind, which is why it comes out a little bit further to allow you to do so. You can also see we have things like maps and other accessories stored in behind. Now talking a little bit more about the setup and sizing. So the APB Kangaroo is designed to be universal in sizing. Because of all the different features and how it comes together, include Velcro, it allows you to be able to size this for a vast variety of different mission sets, including winter and Arctic operations. If all of a sudden you're putting this over a heavier jacket, you have that option to stretch it out a little bit more. Also to include things like if you have soft armor requirements and you're part of a police service that puts this over top of your soft armor or your duty vest, it gives you the option to be able to play around with the sizing. In terms of how we do the sizing for the cummerbund, so you can see on the cummerbund here in the back, we do have it set up in such a way that even on the skeletonized portion of the arms, we have Velcro on the front and back, allowing once again for that universal sizing. In the back of the plate carrier, different from a JPC, we don't rely on any type of bungee systems like you see in their types of vests. It's also Velcro in the back, allowing you to quickly adjust to whatever your desired size is. In the front, you can see we have built-in handles to allow you to quickly and rapidly pull off your cummerbund. So as simple as sliding your hand in, and then all of a sudden you have that ability to open up your vest without any sort of difficulty. Last but not least, talking about how to actually install that med plate in the front. So the lanyard itself has Velcro built right onto the front of it to set that desired ride height. So it is approximately 2 to 3 inches of Velcro. That way, if you want to set it a little bit higher, a little bit lower, you know, especially if you have a tourniquet or something dangling in below and you want to make it a little bit more visible, you can. And it's as simple as it's going to root itself in front of this flap right here, allowing you to stick it to the top front of the plate carrier in such a way that it's open and is configured to be easily identifiable without getting in the way or without creating any type of buildup of fabric on the opposite side that's going to press up against your chest and your stomach. In terms of color options, the APB Kangaroo is available in multicam, black, tan, ranger green, and wolf gray. And we are looking at some options of doing stuff like M81, like you can see on me here today, for the future. With the design, setup, and function of the APB Kangaroo, it allows you to get access to your medical equipment in a variety of different spaces, especially if you're seated in vehicle-borne operations and you don't want an IFAK that's on the back of your plate carrier. This allows you to still be comfortable in those environments while having something that's easily accessible and deployable while seated. With the APB Kangaroo, some of the other nice features in terms of compatibility we have built up with our plate carrier is it will take a vast variety of different accessories that are on the market. So for example, the shoulder pads that do come with the vest, they're relatively low profile, just nylon shoulder straps that end up keeping the entire system together for the front plate bag and the rear. But there's nothing to them really in terms of padding because it's kept to be that low profile minimalist setup. So if you are doing a full duty setup and you want to run something a little bit more robust, different shoulder pads like these Core Performance, I think they're called ice pads, they're compatible with our plate carrier system. One of the other nice added features that we've recently been going over with as well is Core Performance makes something called Pontoons. So if you are looking for a little bit of added, protection and a little bit of added padding, these pads, they're Velcro on and they are compatible with the med plate. That way you can insert it inside your vest and have that little bit of extra protection and cushion. Now, for all those individuals who are interested in purchasing an APB Kangaroo and don't necessarily use the med plate system and are just looking for a low profile plate carrier option, and specifically not as much with the TCCC side of things. The nice added benefit of our system having the 2 plate bags is if you do want to incorporate other accessories with it, we're one of the few vests on the market that allows you to do so. So things like soft armor or different types of plate backers and things of that nature could easily slide in the rear ballistic plate, giving you the room to work with those types of systems while also putting your ballistic plate in the front. As also mentioned at the beginning, having the option to be able to store different types of hydration systems because the back one is also a double plate bag is a nice added feature that you're not going to get with any other plate carriers on the market. All in all, thanks for watching. That's the APB Kangaroo, our system and our solution to really a lot of the issues we found out there on the market to give you a plate carrier system that's low profile, but once again, does a little bit more than the average plate carrier that's out there on the market.